All right, guys. I'm so excited about this. I've been waiting for this plain brown box for a little while. And as an adult, you've probably come to understand certain things make you really, really excited that normally wouldn't. Inside this box is my newest book. And I figured rather than just opening it and freaking out by myself, I'll share it with you guys as well. So here is my newest book that I collaborated with author Brianna on, full of packing papers. It really was like a gift. By the way, my hair is super wet because I had to wash it this morning, and it's so long now that the only way I can brush it is to let it dry completely first. So I am waiting for it to dry. So I got my packing slip, and okay, here's one of them. Oh man, that cover turned out nice. I don't know if you can see it, but it's got a glossy front, and this image was created by the author as well. So you have to read the book to figure out exactly what that image might represent, but it is there. Got my name along the bottom, and then this book includes the first 3 in the series. And the cool part is this is a thick book. I've got spine stuff. It's got my name on it, and then it's got the name of the series, and then this is the Mini Mischief Managed logo. So anything that I'm kind of doing as a entrepreneur is going under my Mini Mischief Managed name. So this is the outside of the book, and then the part that I'm not sure about is what the inside looks like. Because it has images and it's for children, the self-publishing company I use called Draft2Digital, they don't format images, they don't make that look really cool. And then of course, along the tops of books, you're used to seeing like the title or maybe the chapter name or something. And because of the 3 different books, I also had to do all that formatting myself. So we're gonna cross my fingers and see if the inside looks the way I think it should look. All right. Awesome. First title page turned out good. So I'm happy with that, and the spacing, that looks good. Excellent. Second kind of contents page breaks up the 3 different books with logos. That looks good too. I had this one printed on cream paper because I want you to just kind of read the whole thing through. The first 2 books I wrote were only about 60 pages long, and they were nonfiction, so I had those printed on white. Oh, great. This looks good too. Okay, so we got kind of the like disclaimer page that you have to have, kind of like a copyright page. Brianna's name got in there too. I had to manually add that. Draft2Digital usually just includes the author information, but it was a true collaboration with her. So her name's in there. It's got the 3 books, and then I got my advanced reader copies, but the published date is March 1st, so we're coming up on that. We'll get there soon. And then our little dedications, we both got dedications. Those are cool. Those are good. Everything looks good so far. I'm happy. And then each book has its own individual cover piece. Excellent. I'm sure this is all backwards for you guys. Sorry about that, but that just means you're gonna have to buy the book to read it. Oh, this looks good too. I think this is gonna turn out great. So with doing all the formatting myself and being a children's book, there was something else I had to take into consideration, and that was the font size and spacing. So kids' books usually have a larger font. In general, like regardless of if you're reading a paperback or the hardcover of a book, it's going to be bigger, so you're going to have a larger font size, you're going to have a little bit more spacing between it. If you haven't read any early chapter book series, pull some out, flip through them, you're going to notice that. So I also had to format that, so you can tell the spacings, the size of the font's a little bit bigger. And then I chose a font called Mulish. I think I'm pronouncing that right. It might be Mulish, Mulish, and it was specifically created to be as easy to read as possible, no matter what font size you use. I figured that would be pretty good for children's books. And then in addition to the fact, the size, the spacing, whatever, the Mulish font also creates the letter A the way that you learn to write it. So, you know, like the circle with the stick. It doesn't have the little top portion or a weird tale, not a weird tale, but a different tale. So this book has all the letters printed in the same way that kids are used to learning it, which can make it easier to read if your child is still getting comfortable with reading on their own, or even just reading aloud in general. So that looks great. The image looks great. And then I'm gonna go to one of the author images and see how that looks, and voila. Brianna, if you're watching this, I hope you're as excited as I am, but it looks like the images are awesome and they are gonna look great. I'm gonna go to another spot. Perfect. So this one has like a half image, a half page. Everything blends in perfectly. The background's awesome. It all looks like it goes together. So that is, oh my gosh, this is super exciting. It's one of those things where when you do it all yourself, you kind of nervous if it's gonna look the way you think it's gonna look and how it's going to be. And I'm just flipping through here. The images all look good. So you'll see up here at the top, it's got the Ninja Course. That's the name of the first book. So that's at the front, at the top. And then page numbers are at the bottom. And then when you get to the next book, I happen to just flip to that page, how helpful. Now it says Broadcasting Baseball at the top. So once you own the book, if you lose your bookmark or you just want to kind of scan through it, you can quickly and easily figure out which story you're in and which page you're on. And then same thing with the third story. So it's always going to be in the upper right hand corner. And then on pages that don't have an image at the bottom or across the whole page, you have the page number. So guys, this looks great. I'm not going to say it's 100% perfect because you do have to open up the spine a little bit to see the words in the middle, but normal books can be like that too. So we're good. Everything looks great. I'm really happy with this as a new venture in publishing books that have images where I have to do all the formatting. Oh my goodness, this is awesome. Okay. And then of course at the very back of the book, you can do the QR code to leave a review because reviews are one way people decide to buy books. So we got that. And then a separate QR code because I created a community for kids who want to become entrepreneurs. So they can talk with each other. Think of it as a Facebook group, but more private, more controlled, and less noisy. So it's a totally separate software system. It's not a Facebook group at all. It's through a platform called Mighty Networks. And then on the very back, author profiles, me at the top, if you can't see the resemblance, and then Brianna at the bottom. I think this also turned out great. I put that in a little bit smaller font so we could get it all on one page. And there we are. That's my book. Guys, it's available. I ordered some extra copies for myself, so if you're local and you changed your mind and you want a copy, go hold of me. I'll sell it to you for $15. The paperback version will be on sale for $17.97 once it officially publishes. But you can pre-order off Amazon for the paperback version. For some reason, the ebook won't show up until March 1st. But you can get the ebook through other vendors that do allow the pre-order process. So you can find all of those available at bookstoread.com/The Founders Club, because that's the name of the series. Thanks, guys. Hope you enjoyed the excitement. I am just thrilled with how this came out. And so now it's time to start promoting.